All right, welcome to the patio. Today we're going to talk about Fetterman. What is a Fetterman is probably a better term. We got some quick takes to talk about. We're also going to tell you a little bit about this shortage of diesel. There's apparently a diesel shortage across the U.S. and globally.
Like Vin Diesel?
Many people probably wish there was a shortage of Vin Diesel.
The big diesel.
The big diesel. But have you guys heard about the diesel shortage?
I haven't. I missed that one.
No
Is
one's
it-
heard about it?
I heard
there's only about 2 weeks worth of diesel left.
So that's how it goes. That's what the story claims anyway. Diesel supplies down somewhere. I'm seeing 14 days, seeing 25 days throughout the entire United States. The reason that's important, I know it sounds bad, but the reason it's even worse is because there's currently a shortage everywhere of fuel oil, and diesel is similar to the oils used across the Northeast for heating. And as we know, temperatures are starting to fall, and winter is rolling at us quickly.
So why is there a shortage?
Diesel demand has been high at the same time because of COVID. We've lost a decent portion of refining capacity because of the lack of demand back in 2020. But there's also just less diesel being produced. It has to have something to do, though, with the energy policies.
Well, winter's coming.
Winter's coming. I'm wondering if the Mississippi River being shut down is affecting it. I don't know.
Sure it does.
It could. The transportation. But all I know.
I mean, okay, dumb question. I don't know. Are trains running on diesel or electric? Trains run diesel, right?
Or they're not electric.
They typically run diesel. Actually, they theoretically are. They run off generators. There's small generators that
run off diesel.
run off diesel. Mm-hmm.
And I think all this
make electricity.
So I don't know if y'all noticed, but have y'all noticed the amount of trains that has increased since the river went down?
No, I haven't, but
it
it makes sense.
Oh, I mean, it's been nonstop.
It has been. I've been blocked every morning going to school, get my kids late because of stupid trains.
That's just
you know?
part of living here in the acres.
Yeah,
it is. But I mean, even around West Memphis, I mean, there's multiple trains coming every direction now.
Trains are everywhere.
So diesel, is the point of primary fuels. It's used by trucks. It's used for transportation with just 10 on. It's used for just about everything. Farmers use diesel, right?
Yep.
The bulk of manufactured and retail goods move along trains, trucks, like we just talked about. Farming, heating relies on diesel. It's deeply embedded into everything we do. The supply chain issues, but compound that with our green energy focus by the Mr. Vice President and his administration, it just does not bode well. It doesn't bode well for any of us. What do you think happens when diesel dries up and the trucks can't roll?
Well, they say there's only about 3 days worth of food at a grocery store. So I mean, let's look at that impact right off the bat.
Another toilet paper outcry here. People need to start using that sock.
I still got Scots at our house that's stockpiled from the last toilet paper shortage.
You should use that for
sandpaper. Yeah,
for your wood.
Yes.
That's better use than on your booty.
I mean, it'll plane you dry.
It sure will. Make it smooth though.
I've tried to remove my fingerprints.
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out how they get that number.
What number?
Just there's a 3-day supply.
That's just
what
they keep in stock.
Well, I mean, I understand how they equate that number, but I don't see trucks not going down the road. I just
Well, if they don't have diesel, they won't.
Well, I don't know that it's fully. I don't know. I'm not buying into it being that short. I could be wrong. It could be.
It's pretty short. Our petroleum reserves have been cut to the lowest since 1980.
Yeah, I am aware of that. That's true. The reserves are.
Yeah, and I really don't know why that translates into diesel, but 3 weeks doesn't sound like much to me.
That's
It
not.
doesn't sound like
No, I mean, I wonder what they typically. I mean, because everything runs just like food at a grocery store. Everything runs with only a short stockpile, so you don't overstock. So I wonder what I wonder if they typically have a month's worth supply, or typically have 3 weeks.
I'm betting it gets figured out.
I bet what?
I mean, you don't have to.
Yeah.
They need to open the pipeline. Go.
Yeah.
That's how you do it.
I mean, let's hope it gets figured out because I mean the consequences are pretty dire.
Eh.
I mean, you say but I mean,
Nah.
I would love to wake up every morning and have faith in Biden like you do.
Oh, I have no faith in
Well,
Biden.
I mean, it sounds like you fully trust what it's got going on.
No, I didn't say that. I have no faith in Joe Biden.
If you see me hunting in your backyard, Donnie, in the next couple of weeks, I don't want to hear a minute.
I also don't think that in 3 weeks you're going to see 0 semi trucks on the road.
No, I don't think.
Call me wrong in 3 weeks if you want to, but I'm pretty sure.
Well, I think if you are wrong in 3 weeks, we'll let it slide. There'll be other issues to worry about.
Okay.
Now 6 months, I might say, "See, dude, told you."
I'll tell you, I said 3 weeks, not 6 months.
I'm like, Donnie, can I pet your dog?
Yeah, that's right.
So it looks like the high, though, is only 55 days of diesel on hand. That occurred in 2020, of course, after everything was shut down. Yeah, it looks
That's
like we
almost 2 months,
typically run between 25 and 35. If I was to look at this average, maybe 40, close to 40. So as low as that is, it's not.
Okay, it sounds like it's a little worse
See,
than
that's what I'm saying. I just don't think it's as dire as it reads.
And there's probably some attempt before the midterm election to get people worried.
What, you scare people to vote? That's crazy.
Joe Biden will decide to open the pipeline up and be like, I saved diesel. I saved oil.
And that actually what
He
he's saying
saved
is,
He did make a statement the other day that, the price of gas has gone in since he's been in office.
Well, his press secretary made the statement that in Atlanta that did y'all hear this? She said that with the most oppressive or that Georgia has the most oppressive voting laws in the country, but yet they have record turnouts.
Yeah, you can have them both, though. She said you have record turnouts and voter suppression as well
I heard
at the same time.
Yeah, I'm not sure how that works. It's almost impossible to
suppress
have
the
both.
voters you don't want and then bring in more voters.
Yeah, you bring in extra.
It's actually just both sides attempt to explain away their losses.
If I remember, Georgia's law is actually set up to where they're less suppressive than like Vermont, and some of the.
Yeah, so the Attorney General sued Georgia over their voter laws that they voted in, and turns out that everything was fine with it.
Yeah,
even after an Obama appointed judge reviewed the case.
Yeah, the whole thing about you can't give people water. No, you can't give them water. You can't give them water inside the polling place before they reach across it.
I feel like if there's an emergency, you should.
What's the emergency? I mean,
If they get too hot and start sweating and start getting.
We had gone to
where are
early
they
vote.
voting at?
We had gone to vote yesterday or Saturday morning. And as we're walking up, there's people everywhere. They're handing you flyers and stuff. And I just took a flyer walking in. And as soon as I walk in the door, this fella's like, oh, no, because you can't bring that stuff in. I'm like, okay.
Throw it down.
Just throw it down.
Yeah. Don't hand it to me. It's just kind of odd. It's kind of odd to see all those people. You guys hear about what happened to Nancy Pelosi's husband this past weekend, or actually past few days?
Yes, I heard a bunch of different stories. That's what I heard.
So a man's accused of attacking Speaker Nancy Pelosi's husband. He carried some zip ties with him when he broke into the couple's San Francisco home. According to a person briefed on the investigation, and what is the latest, they're trying to make this appear like the Capitol riots of January 6th.
Okay.
That has ties.
So Nancy Pelosi has hired armed security all the time.
Yeah, she's the most powerful
at
woman
her mansion
in America.
Like, how do you
In the world,
sneak into
Probably.
that house? You ain't sneaking into
No,
that
you're
house.
not.
Yeah, in your underwear with a hammer.
No, you'll get shot.
I mean,
He probably lost it on the barbed wire.
something about this story just does not seem accurate.
If it's true, then yes, that this is wrong. We don't, but it just doesn't. It seems too easy.
So you can pick up jobs to actually do that type of work, right? As an individual, you can go and be Nancy Pelosi or someone similar, bodyguard, silentprofessional.com, whatever.
Yeah.
And find jobs where you protect people who are nowhere near the caliber of her status, right? And they pay you ridiculous money, and
Yep.
you have to have all these credentials.
Yep.
Most of them are special forces. You ain't sneaking into that lady's house. It's not happening.
David Pape, I think that's how you pronounce it. 42. I mean, his account is he's a
Gigolo.
male prostitute.
Yes, that's. But that
We're talking about David Paper.
Paper, DePape, something like that.
DePape.
I bet her husband calls him the Papa.
DePape. So, I mean, the story keeps changing. Apparently, there was a third guy.
What did the third guy do?
Well, he let the police in for one. He's the guy that let the police in. Apparently, when the police arrived, either the DePape and Pelosi and the third man, or just DePape and Pelosi were both in their underwear, hammer fighting.
They both had a
And
hammer
by hammer fighting, I mean like the ones who are driving nails, not the other ones. But I think, and my guess is there's probably a little hammer fighting going on before they got there.
Well, from the story I read, they were both holding the hammer, and the police said, drop the hammer, and Pelosi dropped it, and another guy attacked him with the hammer, and that's when Pelosi started getting his injuries.
Yes. Yes.
That's the story I read.
Yeah, that's
I think I got that from the LA.
there's so much about this that makes zero sense.
Isn't it kind of weird?
And-
So is the other dude with the hammer the guy that broke in?
The Pape, he's the one that supposedly broke in. But when the police was called, the police report, the 911 call says he's my friend.
He's my friend.
So did he break into the house with all these zip ties, and then it's like you find the guy you're gonna fight, and you know how like these dudes throw other guy a pillow, like he threw him a hammer. He's like, let's go.
I mean, who breaks in somebody's house with hammers and zip ties in their underwear?
And an extra guy just to be there.
Yeah, and the guy calls and says, "That is my friend."
I bet he showed up as some kind of serviceman, and he had two hammers, like in his kit.
Maybe showed up as like a strippergram.
He was handy manny. He said, "Look, I can fix it."
Maybe Trump sent him a stipend.
He showed up. He showed up.
Handy Manny.
Fix it, Felix.
Fix it.
Hey,
And the other dude was I'm gonna wreck it, Ralph.
I'm going to guess. Sounds like he's already had it wrecked a few times. It's just.
It all sounds like.
I mean, it's all like 2 and 3 in the morning. So I mean, this is like some Jussie Smollett. Oh, Juicy done showed up. And,
Wasn't it Gary that thinks Nancy Pelosi's hot? Was that you?
Yeah, I bet you. Back in the day, Nancy Pelosi's pretty hot. She's hot for a 90-year-old chick.
is she 90?
I don't know. Let me
She's-
look.
she's pretty close.
She's close. Hold on.
Yeah, her husband's 82.
He said she's pretty hot to be immortal.
Look, he's gonna do
She's
watch the Skeletor just for the.
She's still hot to be alive.
yeah.
Tell me about old Nancy. What?
Hold on. She is 82.
82.
Close. Born in 1940, March 26, 1940.
Oh God, we have people in office who were alive World War II era.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Maybe they had the hammer.
Joe Biden's actually younger than Nancy.
Well, I mean, yeah,
She's in better state of mind than Joe Biden now.
this is true.
Yeah, she's got problems, but she.
Man, look at
Well, you know, they did say Paul Pelosi was a Olympian too.
Mitch
He
McConnell's 80.
competed in the hammer throw.
Really?
Yeah, I was about to say that.
All right, I'm going to name off these people. Look at all these people that are in office, how old these people are. Joe Biden, 79. Kamala Harris is 58. I thought she was a little younger than that. Bernie Sanders, 81. Mitch McConnell, 80.
You can't ride with Biden
That's
anymore. They're going to
insane.
take his license away. He's too old.
Yeah, I know.
How these?
Biden had a license in probably 20 years.
I still
anyway.
think the funniest thing is when he wrecked the bicycle.
Well, have you ever seen the video when he was driving a car, but there was like a Secret Service guy on the other side driving?
No.
Yeah, it's like one of those cars that had double steering
Double
wheels.
steering wheel.
Yeah. So he's like, y'all watch me drive this, and you can barely see the guy on the other side driving.
It's like the toddler wheel you connect to your kids, like
that's
car
it.
seat.
Yeah, he looked like the opening scene of Simpsons where Maggie's riding in the car steering. Biden says, I'm doing it.
So, what's the answer with the older members of Congress or the older
Have age
people running
limit.
the country?
Have age limit.
No. That's
Yeah,
not the answer.
That's not the answer.
That's not the answer.
Term limits.
Term limits.
But term limits don't change age.
I think
Well,
term-
but-
Hold on. How many terms are these people served? I bet you
Well,
it
okay.
Oh,
will change.
Okay.
age.
Look at that,
What
Scott.
about Trump? I mean, Trump's late 70s. Do we want to
Yeah.
just keep electing him?
I don't think we should either.
No.
I think, yeah, he's
But so
70,
that's why term limits in it. It's age limit.
Trump's 76.
That's right. So 76. He'd be 78 if he ran again and got elected.
Yeah. We had two like the oldest people in America run for president.
You know, there's a
Reagan-
report that claims, now this is all conspiracy type crap, but
Go
claims
on.
that Joe Biden's wife has said before that Joe actually died a long time ago, and this is a
He's a lizard
body
person.
double, basically.
He's a lizard person.
Lizard person.
He's
They're turning the frogs gay.
Yeah.
You still think you could have
would be
found
more
like a
intelligent.
better body double?
Now, I will say this. Have y'all seen the pictures of Biden before and after with it.
The ears
His
and all that.
earlobes are off.
Now, granted, old people's ears kind of droop sometimes. So,
Yeah.
Yeah, so Paul Pelosi.
look, why don't we ease on that of Pelosi? Quit talking about.
He's
I thought you wanted to re-enter Paul Pelosi.
oh wow.
Oh God, I believe
And then
that. I believe
ease
that's
out
what
of
Mr. DePonte has already
Are we
done.
hammering in or are we taking it out?
Look, okay. One quick thing that me and Donnie was discussing earlier is what these guys have high dollar details.
Yep.
You're not just walking. You're not strolling into.
No, you're allowed into that home.
Yes,
So whether or not something went nuts, crazy, whatever.
almost like you're allowed into the Capitol building.
What?
What?
I touched on that possibility a few weeks ago.
You did. So now we're touching on Mr. Pelosi.
That's what she said.
Man, if you're the head of those
He
forces,
said.
if you're the head of those forces, your job is to keep that building safe. You
What
don't.
about Mr. Pelosi himself or the House?
I was talking about the Capitol, but
Or the Capitol?
I think it's even harder to get into.
Ooh, someone's knocking on the back door.
It's Hoggo here. Don't let Hoggo in.
I thought it was Halloween.
Should I let him in?
Ooh, I'm scared.
So we know Jamie probably heard about the Paul Pelosi thing on TikTok.
Absolutely. That's
Yeah,
the only
that's-
place you get news.
That's the only place she gets Chinese supplied news. But a lot of people probably heard about it on Twitter. At least for now, they heard about it on Twitter.
Twitter.
Because is that a
You know,
free
the
speech
tweet.
market now?
It's improving.
You would think not, by the way people are acting.
Why?
So Elon Musk took ownership of Twitter last Thursday.
Thursday sounds right.
And apparently a sink as well. He took ownership of a sink.
he probably said,
He brought the sink and he fired the top 3 guys. He changed his official name.
Four.
People.
People.
when it was a woman.
Oh, it was?
Yeah.
Well, okay, so he
Sexist.
fired
I mean,
the top.
why fire
3 or
her? I
4
mean, he's only
people.
got to pay her 70% on the dollar.
How dare you assume her? Oh dang!
How
know
do you all assume
giving
these
away
people's
money.
genders?
Did you
Yeah,
know what he
and her
changed
pay
his name
rate.
to?
Oh, my God.
Oh yeah, the chief twit.
He was now the chief twit. You know, he really at one point didn't even care
Chief
anymore to
twit.
take over Twitter.
I respect anybody
Look,
who can make fun
man,
of himself.
when you're smart enough to make fun of yourself for one, probably because he has a disability, he admitted it. He's comfortable with himself, I would imagine, even though he's probably kind of weird. And then you can like build rockets, you can buy Twitter,
He's Batman.
you can have anything in the world that you want, but like you still do weird crap all the time, like carry the sink into the building when you show up. And he has the balls to fire all those people.
You know, sinks are pretty heavy, too.
They are
you know?
heavy.
So he's pretty strong.
But the irony, this kind of goes back to what we were talking about last week about free speech. Because the irony is that he has taken over Twitter. He's pledged that he will turn this into a place of freedom, free speech. People can go and say what they wish without the potential of being canceled.
Well, it should be.
So do you think it'll fail?
What?
Looking at just Elon Musk's track record, do you think
there's zero
that Twitter will be a
chance.
failure?
No,
I don't think so.
I don't think
Only
it
if he wants it to be.
I think people
Yes,
are
only
addicted.
if he wants it.
People are addicted to Twitter. It doesn't matter who takes over Twitter.
Yeah,
People
but
are
If he would have bought it for $44 billion or whatever it was and then just shut it down.
So,
oh my gosh.
big names are leaving the platform complaining about hate surge and calling for tighter regulation. So, and I'm sure I would be willing to bet if we make it through this list, and I'll look them up in just a second, that most of these people are very far left when it comes to point of views. A lot. He doesn't care very much at all. But the point I was headed toward was that why is free speech such a scary thing today? From the 70s, the 60s, wasn't the hippies about love and free speech and freedom of speech, and they could burn the flag, they could talk bad to the people coming back from Vietnam. It's about our military people going to fight to allow those idiots to do those things. But now that there's more of a platform that anybody can use, we sure seem to be very scared of free speech.
well,
So I think you have two types of people, right? You have the people that if I see you burn a flag, I'm going to punch you in the face and stomp you on the ground, right? And then you have the other type of people. You have the other type of people who say, I see you burn my flag. I'm not happy with it, but I fought so that you can have the right to burn that flag. right? Now, I don't think you should burn our flag, right?
I'll say this: I
think
respect both people. The ones that are stomping
Yes,
mud holes and people, I
think
fully
you
respect
deserve
them.
to get throat punched.
I understand.
Pick something different,
what the
but
other
I
person's
also
feeling.
understand the people that say, "I fought for you to have that liberty."
I
in
can
your
tell you
life,"
now,
right?
Grandpa Fort Bend and Grandpa Manchester be out there whooping ass.
But I mean, there are also I know people from both, and some of these guys are like the tip of the spear type dudes, and some of them are on the throat punch you.
That's actually
Some of them are on the side of I fought for you to have that right.
To me, you're getting into more of a modern veteran, though.
Yeah, old school guys punching.
Yeah, but like Vietnam era and forward, you know, Vietnam vets I've met are kind of split. You know, I know guys that would, you know, bury your body somewhere where nobody find it, and I know some that.
I'm on the punch you on the throat side of the thing, honestly.
I mean, that'd be my preference.
Senator Amy Klobuchar, she ran for president last time against Joe Biden. Even
I voted for her. I'm just kidding.
yeah, probably so. Or she definitely ran against Trump. But she says they asked her on one of NBC's Meet the Press whether she trusts Musk now that he runs Twitter, and she just says no, I don't. They want more content modernization and less immunity for social networks that amplify hate speech. And what she's referring to is the man who attacked Pelosi's husband last week. She said he was posting anti-Semitic tropes. He was showing memes that showed violence and all of his election denying pro-Trump MAGA crowd rhetoric. That's where we're dealing with here. I just don't think people should be making money off of passing on this stuff as a bunch of lies.
Okay,
Is that a bunch of lies?
So let's look at it this way. Social media is considered town square. Now, you can be two things. You can be a publisher, which means you're held accountable for what people on your platform do, or you can be considered a telecommunications, which means you're not held accountable for what people do, and you can't silence people like telephones, that type of thing. So social media is skating the line right there by getting the protection of being a telecom, but while using publishing because they get to pick and choose what puts on their platform. You can't have it both ways.
Yeah,
and that's the problem with how allowing them to decide what is acceptable speech.
So LeBron James tweeted, it's ironic that he tweeted just yesterday that the surge in N-words used on Twitter since Musk took over was scary AF. That's one of your favorite terms, AF.
AF.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I mean, honestly, who uses? I mean, and I'm not.
No,
Look, like rap music. I don't really think it's the white man out there throwing around the.
Well, no, let's be honest. The two types of people that use the N-word.
Some people do. Right?
Well, yeah, but generally it's closet racists, which are a fringe, or it is a lot of people in the black community.
I am,
I mean, generally,
Hey, check out these are the three things that increased significantly.
money.
Since Musk took over Twitter, the N-word spiked 500%, which is dumb. It's terrible, but whatever. Anti-Semitic memes jumped, and the word pandemic. Do you know what that means for?
Pandemic,
You plan to have a pandemic,
Right.
like every 2
For
years.
a
I
conspiracy
feel like,
theory
yeah.
in which elites are using the pandemic to gain power.
The fact that I know that it is, and then you immediately say conspiracy theorists.
Jimmy's ears perk up.
Do you think Elon Musk bought this kind of by accident? Like he talked some stuff. They said, "All right, you got it. You can buy it." He's like, "All right, we'll do the paperwork then," and then he tried to back out of it. Now he's stuck.
Now, I don't necessarily disagree with what you're saying. I almost think though he searched for reasons that he didn't have to buy it.
Do you think he bought it to use it as a political tool?
I know this sounds stupid to say, but I don't have this kind of money. But I will spend some money for a good troll, and I'm not sure he didn't do that.
Well, I think
he has
initially,
way more money than us. Right?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So-
It'd be like me spending $40 to do something silly.
You'd be like, damn, that's expensive.
well, initially,
Elon Musk is like $44 billion. He's like, ass. Whatever.
I believe initially he did it to prove that Twitter was absolutely worthless. That there was most of the people out there.
There's a lot of bots.
I think I have 5 Twitter accounts, which I don't really use any of them.
I'm running a lot. Apparently, we're running 2 live for the patios. I'm doing 1 UR too. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Heck
we're
yeah.
both
Lives from the patio.
Lives from the patio.
Yeah, but anyway, good luck to Mr. Musk. I think he's got great things. ahead for Twitter. Definitely better than Meta is the name.
Just Elon, if you're Elon Musk, just open up a platform where you can kind of say pretty much what you want.
That's
I know it has to be
And it scares
somewhat regulated.
But does it?
I don't think so. Like you ain't gonna hurt you're not gonna hurt my feelings with anything.
I mean, what's the worst thing? I mean, the worst thing I can think of is you have fringe groups that are running around out there. But you know what? The FBI has the same access to them that we do.
Shut them down.
So-
Yeah, I mean,
It's their job.
But here's the thing: be even-handed. Don't go and track down QAnon and ignore the new Black Panther Party. You have to look at any potential violence.
So this article references Hollywood power players that have left. I'm gonna name these names, and you tell me if you've ever heard of them.
No, great.
Shonda Rhimes.
Nope.
That's Busta Rhymes' sister.
Are they related to Leanne Rhymes?
Oh,
No,
they did the
no.
whole Rhymes
Ken
family.
Olin.
Ken Owen.
Olin.
Olin. Oh, I was about to say if he's related to the Owens.
Jim Jordan.
Jim.
That's
Is he Republican?
That's Michael Jordan's cousin.
There's Ted Cruz. He liked it. He says one of the most significant developments for free speech in modern times.
He's Republican.
Joe Rogan liked it.
He's independent.
Something where you can go say whatever
Yeah.
the hell you want to say.
You know, that used to be the case on social media until Trump won the election.
If you
And
don't
once
like it,
Trump
don't
won the election, that's really when they decided they had to really start controlling more closely what people are.
Well, he really was the
information
first
again.
president to really win it without the big ads,
without using.
with the
He used
normal
Facebook.
tools, right?
He used Facebook.
He
He's
did.
right.
He pushed it hard.
Social media.
So one thing too, look at who controls social media, Hollywood. I mean,
Google.
The Democratic side controls the narrative.
With so many big money people with hands in there. So you got Elon Musk, who's an outsider when it comes to that. You know, no one likes this. You know, there are tons of other billionaire, millionaire type guys that hate this.
Yeah, nobody said anything when what's the dude that bought the Washington Post?
Not Bloomberg, was it?
No, it wasn't Bloomberg.
He's got his own media empire.
Yeah, I mean, there's multiple people have.
You know, honestly, if I was a billionaire, I'd buy something where I could push my agenda. Why not?
man, I'd buy islands and just step away.
The one
I
thing,
probably would too.
but and then I
Be
think
like-
we move
be
on
like
from
Epstein
Musk,
Island.
but there's something that's got to be troubling with the guy who did more for electric automobiles than anyone else around the globe. He kind of put him on the face, and yet he's not even recognized by the president or looked at by the left. Instead, they try to vilify him.
In fairness, how many people does our president recognize?
Yeah, but well, that's true.
That is true.
Hey,
Yeah, man.
That's fair.
Hey,
So-
just to blow you guys' mind, the person who bought Washington Post was Jeff Bezos. I don't know if you've
Bezos,
ever heard
yeah,
of
yeah,
him.
yeah.
Yeah.
Jeffrey,
so he
Chad
owns
B.
Amazon.
Jeffrey.
Yes, he owns Amazon.
All right, so let's have a toast to
Oh,
Mr.
Terry brought a beer. Let's.
Elon. I've got a beer to try. It's
Pass
a
it around.
local.
Pass it around.
Is it local?
It's local.
This is Ghost River.
This
This is Ghost River.
this is from Ghost River Brewing Company, also in Memphis, though,
Right across the river.
right across the river.
Before
It
long, it'll
is-
just be a sand path.
It's a Dunkelweizen ale. So
What is a Dunkelweizen?
It's a darker.
Sounds
wheat beer.
dirty.
That guy fought for Hitler.
Hey, everybody that is listening and sending me pictures of them drinking beers that we sample, I appreciate it. I really do.
Sends you a picture.
Oh man, I've had 3 people send me pictures of.
Oh, I thought you meant like you had all these people. We got 3 people.
That's a lot of
Well,
people.
that's probably all our listeners.
Not really
Yeah.
much there.
Me, Gary, and Terry. We all sent you. a
Well,
picture.
well, you know what? It
All right,
wasn't
so
me.
let's
'cause I
let's
don't drink
take a
beer.
taste of this beer and see what we think. I don't think you guys will care for it
I was taking a picture as I was
I
drinking
had
on the
high
show.
hopes
and
Gary
sent it
gets
to
the
him.
first drink. As
All right.
always.
because when I was in Germany, a Dunkelweizen was my favorite beer I had while visiting Germany.
Terry's German. Gary tasted it.
Tastes,
He's frowny face.
Does it taste-
it's okay. It's a little dry. Is that what a
Let me get a smell.
Dunkelweizen is supposed to be?
Does it taste
It
dunkily?
smells like eggs.
Well, that ain't good.
What kind of eggs you been eating?
Yeah, I'm not
dude?
crazy about it, and I like a Dunkelweizen. You know, maybe I'm just not a big fan of Ghost River.
Not yeah. Okay.
It tastes like meat. That's like just drinking Viennese sausage.
All right, so
Like you're drinking. What? Don't
it,
talk
it
about
does.
sausages.
It does have a Viennese sausage.
My kids will love this.
I don't know how you
So
picked
you
up
just-
on that.
So you
This
need
is
to eat some
potted
crackers.
meat.
Look at me.
This is
Look,
liquid potted meat. All right, so look.
You don't have to compare everything
So
to food.
what this beer is supposed to be, I think it is
What is it?
Viennese
a
sausages.
Dunkel.
Dunkelweiss.
I think as Americans, this isn't our. This is. I mean, we're Pilsner people.
This is okay.
No, that's not bad. I mean,
I wouldn't go buy this tomorrow, but I think for what it's supposed to be, it is what it is.
I said it smells like it flat out smells like Viennese sausages.
You keep on talking about Viennese. I'm gonna have to go
Smell
get me
it.
some. I
Well, you
enjoy
got,
it.
you got a
smell it
can
now.
full of.
This is not Viennese.
Jamie, maybe you
I
need to
smell
get a
it,
cracker
Jamie.
and some mustard and then pour a little beer on it.
I smell Viennese.
I mean, it's not a bad beer. It's a different flavor than what
It's
we
just
typically
different.
drink.
We'll finish these beers.
That's not
but,
bad.
I mean, I've never not well.
Ghost
Have you ever
River.
had Sierra Nevada Celebration?
I don't think so.
I would not.
Sounds like a fun time.
It ain't.
Celebrated.
It ain't.
So Gary, what do you say here, Gary? Where do you leave us with this Ghost River Dunkelweiss?
On a scale, let's do 1 to 10. Let's do 1
Well,
to 10.
we got to do like we always do. We got to rate the can. We got to rate the beer.
Rate the can. I like the sticker cans. I don't know why. It just seems
Makes you feel like it's a microbrew.
yeah, it's a microbrew. You know,
I like the sticker. The sticker can 'cause
I
you get
give
the
the-
nice silver can.
I give the
backer.
can a 7.
Really?
It's
you think that's
it's
a
a
7?
solid 7. It's gold. I like the color.
If we use though Love Honey as the gold standard, literally of a 10 can, we think that's probably a 10, right?
I mean, I think, it's a
If Love Honey's a 10, this is not a
Y'all
7.
think Love Honey's a 10 can?
absolutely.
No, as far as artwork and stuff for the can,
Because of the
it's
heart.
got to be
Because
there.
you can see the aorta. and
It's
stuff.
like really, really high.
So, what would you rate it on a scale of 1 to 10?
Oh, no less than like a 8.5, 9.
Well, if that's an 8.5, this is a 5.
I would say a 4.
I think.
And I don't hate it. It's just,
Oh, you talking about
if
this?
we
What would I
leave-
rate this can?
No, Love Honey. What would you rate Love Honey's can?
Like probably 8.5, 9. I like
Okay,
cans
so
with more
let's
color.
use Love Honey as our 9 mark.
Okay.
And that way it gives us room to go above, right? If we think it moves it down. So then Ghost River here with the Dunkelweizen. I think you're right, Jeremy. I think it's a 4.
I like it's 4.
a
on
7.
a can.
I like it.
It's
So on
It ain't- this ain't even
on
a
average,
4.
On average, we're gonna say a 5.
nah, it's a
For
1
the whole
can.
beer.
It's a 1
He
can.
He says a 1.
It's just
You say a
boring.
1? I like it.
It's just boring.
I think it's boring too now, but I can go with 4
All right,
or
so
something.
1, 4, and 7. So the average is like
You put a
4.
7?
Yeah, I like it.
Okay.
I like
There's
that's
2
what-
4s.
So
Some
you like
people
the
are different,
gold,
Jamie.
the silver, or
Jamie,
whatever?
you probably can't see the
All
color.
right, so look, I said a 1. I was clearly joking. It's in the middle. It ain't good. It ain't bad.
So 5.
So it's
So
Let's
we
go
go
with
Okay.
5.
5.
That's all right. So
Now, what about what's in the can? Gary, you give us your feedback as a beer hater.
As a
Beer hater club.
I have to take into account my hateness for beer.
You also have to take into account the type of beer.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
I don't think it's fair to judge it.
No, I
like-
don't want to judge against the box.
Yeah,
I love
yeah.
box.
It's not fair to judge
I mean,
it against your favorite. beer.
I'm gonna give it a 5 because I could drink it and it don't bother me, and that's good
I'm
for a
probably
beer.
good with that.
I can go with 5.
DW, where
It's
you
just
at?
the average
Just
beer.
for me, yeah.
I mean, so like it's not my favorite, but it's like definitely in the top half of like decent beers. For what it is, I think I give it a 7.
So second banana, we would all agree is our lowest beer.
I like second banana.
I like
second banana better than this one.
That's a horrible.
So I'll say
beer.
this: without the whole lot of experience with
I
Dunkelweizen,
think it's
Yeah.
about a 7.
I would. I'll say a 6. It's drinkable. I would drink it. And if you had a 6-pack of this, I would finish a 6-pack. And then I give us crackers.
We'll
No, like we were
right
sitting
there.
around. This was all that was here, and like I drank
Yeah,
this.
I
one,
could drink
I'd
it.
take another one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. All right. So I can go with a 6, 7-ish. But now Gary brings up a point here. Second banana
It's a good.
I like second banana.
is probably one of my least favorite beers I've ever drank.
So if you want a beer like you're mowing your yard in the summertime, and you want something with a little more flavor, I think this is a good beer for that
Or
because it's not
hear
heavy.
me out. You can go get a 6-pack of Viennese for like $3.
You could do both.
He just
I bet
drink the
not
juice.
$3
You
anymore.
could do both.
I bet Viennese are probably about like $8 now.
Percent alcohol. in this?
6. That's the first thing I looked at. 6%.
You always look at the first.
I know. It's
You're
not,
alcoholic,
I'm more
yeah.
bang for my buck.
Yeah.
Alcoholics go to meetings.
Yeah.
All right, so go out and sample it. Go find you some Ghost River Dunkelweizen. It's a different beer.
I like Ghost River. Don't get me wrong. Oh, yeah. It's I like Ghost River.
They're a strong
I'm just
company.
not a Duncan Bison.
Well, I think Ghost River is kind of starting to venture out.
Well, they should because obviously people like me are more into certain types, and there's people out there that love it.
There's some dude in the Memphis area that this is his thing. He
Yeah.
loves this, right? He
Like,
loves
I don't
to
like
go
IPAs, but y'all love IPAs. I mean,
Yeah, I like it.
Even the guys from Beer Fest ventured out and did a strawberry beer. You know,
they did.
they did. So you got
Beer Fest.
Greatest movie ever.
great movie.
All right, let's do some quick takes.
Quick takes.
Hey, you guys heard of Jon Fetterman?
Yes,
We mentioned him briefly.
It's Jon Fetterman.
I know who Johnny McEnroe
So
is.
Jon Fetterman's running for Senate of the great state of Pennsylvania against none other than the Dr. Oz.
Okay, I would hate to be
You
that.
almost can't make this shit up. It's almost like
I would hate to know I was a resident of Pennsylvania had to choose one of them two.
Look, I do not know who John Fetterman
All right,
is.
well, I'm gonna
Google
play.
him.
I'm gonna play.
I'll give Donnie a visual. He looks like Greg Ostertag and Sling Blade had a love child.
Good gosh.
How did Dr. Oz become famous? What was he on a TV show?
Yeah, the doctors or what? Or Dr.
Yeah.
Oz.
Yeah,
He's
dude,
actually
probably
a
ain't
heart
doctor.
surgeon.
He's a-
okay.
yeah.
Okay, hold
Yeah.
up now. My bad, Dr. Oz. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Jill Biden ain't done. I mean, she's like a honorary. No, she's actually a doctor too, but not like a medical doctor. Pull up.
The matter is that this guy is running for state senate. He, the Democrats put him on stage in front of the world to see. They did a debate. They've been trying to do a debate with him for some time, and they said no. The doctors had put out this full release that allowed him to go back to work, saying he's fully recovered and ready to go, but he's clearly not. He's clearly not. I mean, this was embarrassing, if you will, and it's not so different than Joe Biden.
It's really not.
So, all right, yeah, go ahead.
Well, this is my take on it. I think as a politician, a lot of the politicians, if you look at them, they're great speakers. A lot of time, even Joe Biden back in the day was a good speaker. Not anymore, but he used to be, and that's why he was good liar. I mean, that's what most politicians are, right and left, are good liars. But this Fetterman, you know, I'm not a good speaker, but I feel like if I can beat him in a debate.
So what about
It's not good.
manipulator instead of liar?
Manipulator, good, good.
Yeah, if I can beat you in a debate, you don't need.
You don't need to be a politician in politics because, as you know, I need you for my state to go represent me and be able to argue for me, and I don't feel like Fetterman can argue for his people.
The depressing part is if you're on the left, this is the best thing you could bring forward in the state of Pennsylvania.
It's
Between he and Dr. Oz, and I can't.
That's a terrible.
Yeah, I think Dr. Oz is also not someone that anyone's excited about.
no, I'm not excited about him either. But
So I've never been a Dr. Oz guy, but he'll like tell you to like drink tea with ginger and all that kind of stuff. Right?
Yeah.
I always drink tea with ginger.
that's so sweet.
You know, this is how bad that election is. Fetterman and Oz is like a 3-point difference.
It's bad.
That's how bad this election is.
Why can't we get great politicians? We have a lot of great people out there. Why don't really good people run for politics?
Or busy working.
Because it's
Yeah,
so
makes sense,
it's
yeah.
so political.
It's so political.
You have to have like
I don't understand.
you have to build, dude. You have to spend years and years like catering to people and building ins and outs in the political world.
I've been catering to people for many years. Yeah.
It's not, you can't be a good dude with good ideas in most cases.
No,
and
you
just
can't.
jump right into the political field and be successful and win. And
No, people don't vote for good people, though. I mean, hell, I'm guilty of it, too. But, I mean, most times we vote for – I'll walk into the ballot box and I'll vote for whatever just – okay, yeah, either right, either left, one or the other.
look, admittedly, I am the worst American person, blah, 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 voting-wise.
You're a bad American.
I just –
Do you vote?
Do you
not,
vote?
no, not normally, no. So as a Arkansan, like most of the time, my vote doesn't really matter.
It matters in Arkansas, though.
Not really.
Oh, I think it does. I think it does in this election as much as any. We have.
I hate voting in our local like political crap. There is one person, I won't say the name. There's a person I'd have voted for this year if I'd have got registered in time, and I did intend to, but I got busy.
kind of shit.
Donnie's just trying to keep him going to jury duty.
Nah,
That's all he's trying to
Speaking of which, I got jury duty starting Tuesday.
No, sir.
That's federal,
U.S.
isn't it?
District.
You know, Charlie had that a few weeks ago during the middle of summer. We was on vacation.
Never had to go.
So D-Dub, they don't want D-Dub in jury duty.
They don't want Fort Berry.
I can walk in and all the prosecutors look and go, I know you. Go, leave. I'm like, all right, cool.
Yeah.
I'll be like that scene from Family Guy. I'm like, I'm racist. I hate ants. Actual quick.
All right, people calling out Eminem for culture appropriation in an old music video. You guys heard about this?
I love it.
Eminem gonna blast them in a rap.
The rapper's song with D12 titled "My Band" was released in 2004.
I love that song
Awesome.
Featured a section right at the end that's now been dubbed inappropriate.
All right, so
But by who? Who gets to say that's inappropriate?
look, there wasn't he dressed up as a Mexican. There ain't a single
I
Mexican.
know it's a
mad about it.
Matador outfit. He was in
It was a Matador
outfit.
outfit,
and
You know
in a
who I-
mariachi band.
You know who else he made fun of in that video? NSYNC. NSYNC is completely white. He made fun of all of them. D12. Every person besides Eminem is black,
Yeah, of the high melanin.
and they are cool of making fun of anyone. It doesn't matter. I think as long as you keep it square across the board and you make fun of everybody,
Cultural appropriation is complete BS. It's a way to gatekeep what you have just because you want people to have it.
It's all
it
about
would just be fun and have a good time.
It's not just about that.
don't think
Everything
you
in the
can
world, like box braids. I mean,
The
everything
problem
else.
is Karens. They're everywhere.
I'm waiting for somebody, everyone in America to realize you can be offended by anything.
You're gonna be
why don't
mad.
people realize this? I can be offended.
You can choose to be offended by nothing and walk away.
Exactly. But,
You can choose to turn off the television program. You can turn off our podcast.
Well,
Never
exactly.
listen
One
again
thing-
'cause
one
we
thing I hate
offended
is
you,
the-
and I'm sorry if we did, but
The whole thing about cultural appropriation is culture is not a color. I have far more in common.
It is not.
I have far more in common with the black kids I grew, or the adults now, but the black people I grew up with in Parkland, Arkansas, who all grew up
Yep.
to farmers and factory workers than I have with a white person in Midwest.
look, I got something to say to all of the millennials or whoever these people are getting offended. Get the freak over it, okay? Get over it. Grow some thick
What's your
skin.
mouth?
The Chinese don't give a shit. When they take us over in a few years,
They're not gonna take us over.
They
They
don't
can't.
when they're
They
taking care
can't
of
feed
me
their
and
people.
old folks home.
The My Band is the name of the song, right?
Yeah, I mean, that's a great song. Yeah,
Look, me and Jamie used to bump Eminem.
yeah, it was on the
Like
curtain or whatever.
back
curtain
when
call.
we had like a Discman in the truck and you hooked it up with a little tape and the
Little
tape
tape,
player
yeah.
and the dude rolled by with the speakers that bumped real heavy and knocked our CD
Made
and
it-
made it
made it
skip.
CD
all right,
disc.
next topic.
So this was 2004.
Almost 20 years.
Look, and we're upset about this now? Dude, get out of here.
All right, next
Get outta
topic.
here.
We talked
off
about the
my
elections.
lawn.
a
You're
little
done.
bit. Election Tuesday is what week from Tuesday? So November
Ooh,
the
it's coming up quick. Yeah, eighth.
Who are we
and
voting for? What are we voting
I've already
about?
voted. I voted just the midterms. They're already talking about the coups that are taking place. They've already begun. Vigilantes, saboteur, voter suppression. It's already happening now. We hadn't even made it to election Tuesday, and both sides are already crying foul.
Like the bird?
Are our elections in our country, are they honest, fair, and safe? Fort Berry?
I don't know. And I know that's a terrible answer. I don't know. I have zero faith in them.
Well, then that almost says the opposite. But do you I want you to take a step back, though. But do you really think...
Yeah, I don't think you're going to get mugged going to
But do you really think we're at risk of someone lying and cheating in an election?
Yes.
Enough to move the needle?
Yeah, every election.
Well, yes.
I
I mean, because in tight elections, it don't take much to move the needle.
think probably as long as elections have happened, people have cheated. right?
Correct.
I mean, and let's be honest, 2016, one side screamed that the election was rigged and he was a false president. The next election, another side screamed it was rigged and it was a false president. I mean, this has gone on since the first one I remember was Bush Gore.
Who do y'all think are our legitimate candidates this year? Like the final two
In what?
presidency?
Oh, presidency.
Or
We're
not
2
this
years
year.
away from
Not this year. I meant when it comes.
I have a ticket though. If it depends on how the election goes in 2 weeks.
So 2 years from now,
I
who do
think
you
it's gonna be
think are the
DeSantis.
final two?
I think it'll be DeSantis.
So DeSantis,
I'll give you a final.
if he wins his election, so if DeSantis wins his election in Florida, I think he runs for president.
I think so.
I think if Carrie Lake wins in Arizona and she can make things happen, if you don't know Carrie Lake, I say go look her up. She's pretty damn impressive lady. And I would love to see a DeSantis Lake ticket.
Because she's independent now, isn't she?
No, she's conservative.
She used to be Democrat.
Yeah,
Yeah, but she's conservative.
Is it amazing how many people are leaving the Democrat Party though?
Well,
It's it tells you something screwed up, right?
because there's dumpster fire.
You know, there's a real problem though, and I've tried to take a step back, and you know, because you get caught up in. We've even been talking a lot about transsexual, trans kids. We've been talking about LGBTQ
We even
plus.
talk about transracial.
Yeah, but look, if you take a step back, right, it's all really about sex. And why is sex such an important part of our elections? Because really, I think we were better off when those things stayed in our bedrooms or stayed in the closet and wouldn't have brought out in our forefront.
We're all old enough to remember a time where it was impolite to discuss politics, religion, and sex. And I would not mind going back to that.
Yeah, but it seems sex really seems to be dominating the conversation. It dominates media. And, you know, look, sex sells, right? People are interested in it.
Yep.
Humans are sexual creatures. But why does it matter? Because this bill in Florida is what bugs me. So all they want to do is tell people to quit telling kids, I think prior to 4th grade maybe, about sex. And then, you know, there's teachers that say, LGBTQ teachers in Florida that say, I can't do my job.
Yeah,
And I'm trying to understand why
If I can't tell
them-
a child who I'm attracted to, I can't do my job.
Not only that, I guess they go to class and almost like to talk to their buddies and tell them what they did over the weekend with their lover.
No, because
And
you
that's
can't.
the type of thing that should not happen.
So here's the thing: you can do your job. If you teach science, you teach science. If you teach geography, you teach geography. You don't need to
Look, as a person who went to school, as we all have done,
You went to school?
I went to school 13 years.
No lie.
I actually told my college 13 and a half.
Whoa.
I went to school.
I never once gave a shit what my teacher did in the weekend.
Hey, look, if I throw all my college in, I went to school about 20 years.
All right.
But isn't this the same type of thing with parenting?
Yeah.
Parents want to be friends, and I think that has a lot to do, rather than making the harsh decisions for children and telling them something they don't want to hear, they would rather give in to them getting hormone blockers and doing these.
I agree, but the difference is it is the parents' position to run a child's life, not the teacher's.
That's sad.
And I know that's a terrible way to say it.
Well,
but-
I'd agree with that more than the teacher.
Well, I'm gonna
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I'm
I mean-
gonna come in from left field out here. I'm gonna throw something
here
out
it comes
there.
out
I'm
from
gonna
the
come
left.
out and
Hit and miss so
I'm
many
ultra-
balls in left field.
ultra conservative here, but I do somewhat understand what the teachers are trying to
Just say,
do.
why are you doing a macho man impression while you do this?
Jamie.
So so if we're not visual, he's like shaking his hand like macho man, like I understand.
I understand. So I do understand a little bit what they're trying to do. It's not right, but I understand that they're trying to make kids
I
who
understand because you haven't
Yeah.
said yet.
the kids that are in the classroom that they feel they're not being able to, be who they are because they're being suppressed. They're trying to have an open forum for them. And that's what the teachers are sort of trying to push.
It's not a position they have open for them.
Exactly. And that's what I'm saying.
It's their position to learn.
It's their positions to learn to even mathematics and stuff and not be a sex ed
Curriculum.
teacher for a 4 or 5 year old. I understand what they're trying to do, but it's wrong. There you go.
I don't understand what they're trying to do.
It's wrong.
Once again, I go back to what I said. I didn't care what my teachers did on the weekend. Didn't give a shit. Maybe no difference.
Gary, did you care about all the things me and Jamie did to you as a youth?
I mean, I did because they were happening to me, but yeah, no.
The movie popped up.
Let me see. This is in Singapore. Men are convicted for posing as lingerie consultants and gynecologists to get nudes from women. They join other cases in Singapore where men have been convicted for posing as psychic mediums and influencer recruiters to solicit photos.
How do you pose as a gynecologist? You just show up on the door. Hey, I'm a gynecologist.
You show up with like some little spreader tongs.
Check this out, guys.
What do you do?
This dude, but the women fell for it. There's a 37-year-old man convicted on Wednesday in Singaporean court. He posed as female gynecologist and duped 35 women into sending him photos and videos of their breasts and vaginas. The same day, another man was convicted of similar charges after a Singaporean court heard he posed as a lingerie consultant.
So the dude is like a teledoc? Is that what he's posing as?
That's what he
Like,
did.
What
Yeah.
does a lingerie consultant do?
I don't know, but
You
I
can
can
consult
imagine
how
he did.
people look in lingerie. Like,
But
That's
he
a
probably
job?
fulfilled that. Gary, you're going to be jobless
Exactly.
after tomorrow.
I'm going to be jobless.
Maybe you
tomorrow.
should pose.
like
I'm gonna pose.
You may could be
is
a
this a
lingerie
job
consultant.
and what does it pay?
Yeah, what does it pay? I may be a really good lingerie consultant. I don't know.
So the court heard that after making contact, he would ask his victims to fill out a self-monitoring survey with questions about their breasts, other private parts, and sex lives, and then further catfish those who responded by sending them reports about medical care and sample photos of similar. Eventually, he instructed his victims on how to perform massages on their genitals and asking for before and after pictures.
That sounds more than a lingerie consultant.
Yeah.
No,
no.
this is the doctor who claimed to be a gynecologist.
Well, gynecologists aren't a sex
You sure he wasn't also a gymnast for a gymnast doctor or whatever it was
From
at
Michigan State?
Yeah,
Oh, he actually used a real doctor, well, a name and a location. Turns out he wasn't part of any of them.
All right, but he's doing all this over like on the phone and on the interweb and whatnot. So no one went to an actual office.
No.
I feel like people are just getting goofy and dumber with their phones these days.
absolutely.
You guys ever watch the movie Idiocracy?
No, but
you
I
mean the
heard you talk
documentary?
about it a bunch.
Yes, the documentary.
documentary.
It's happening. It's insane. We're gonna have a wrestler as a president pretty soon.
Yeah, we're probably not far
There's
from
been one as
that.
a governor.
Because
It was.
that's right.
Yeah, Jesse the Body Ventura
He was a good governor, from my understanding. So
and an actor.
yeah. Oh, wasn't he an alien?
No, he was a predator.
Predator, same thing. Alien and Predators movies commingle, so you know.
Have you seen the video of the little kid who's a predator? And he said, "What are you for Halloween, son?" And he said, "I'm a child predator." No, we can't say that. Everybody remember Mardi Gras, January 21st. We've all got our tickets. Some of the listeners have joined us. Y'all come on, have a big crowd.
And
Blytheville,
Blytheville, Arkansas.
Look, if you haven't seen the Adventures of Jamie and Hoggo, you need to go check it out. It's pretty cool stuff we got going on TikTok and YouTube. Come out and see us. Hit like button, find us, listen to us. Our numbers were down a little bit last week. We've been kind of ill. We are all back and over the flu. And hopefully we can keep doing this for a lot longer. Happy Halloween, everybody.
Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween.
Sweet candy last night.
Look at this sweet candy.
Clouds and I ain't gonna fall. Somebody done saved this outlaw.